When we think about high intelligence, what usually comes to mind? A life of effortless success, right? It's seen as this ultimate superpower. But what if that's only half the story? Today, we're going to dive into the silent, often invisible struggles that can come with a brilliant mind, the hidden burdens that we're only now really starting to understand. And this, right here, gets to the absolute heart of it. The myth we're all sold is a life of easy wins and instant answers. But the reality for so many is something completely different. It's analysis paralysis, it's a profound sense of loneliness, and it's this crushing pressure to always be on. Look, this isn't about complaining. It's about facing a totally different, often invisible, set of challenges. All right, so first up, let's look inward. Let's talk about the internal struggles that happen when your mind is just constantly in overdrive. Sound familiar? That feeling that your brain just will not switch off. It's like you're not just thinking about a situation, you're performing a full-blown autopsy on every word, every look, and mapping out 1,000 different timelines for what might happen next. And here's the thing. This isn't some kind of character flaw. For a mind that's always firing on all cylinders, this is the default setting. But replaying every single possibility can turn a simple choice into an impossibly complex problem. And believe it or not, there's actually a name for this. Yeah, analysis paralysis. It's that feeling when you've looked at a problem from so many different angles that you're just stuck. The very mental power that's supposed to help you actually becomes the thing holding you back. Okay, so this ties right into another huge internal battle, the constant chase for perfection. Do you ever feel like you are, by far, your own worst critic? And let's be clear, we're not talking about healthy ambition here. This is a black and white worldview where anything less than perfect feels like a total failure. This is a one-way ticket to burnout, because that finish line for perfect, it just keeps moving further away. Psychology has a specific term for this, maladaptive perfectionism. So, unlike that healthy drive that pushes you to get better, this is the toxic kind. It's that nagging voice in your head that whispers, nope, still not good enough, no matter what you've accomplished. It's this constant, draining feeling of never measuring up. And then there's the boredom, that deep, profound boredom with things that seem to fascinate everyone else. Does routine ever just feel like a cage to you? Now, this has nothing to do with being lazy or having a short attention span. It's actually a need. A highly intelligent brain is literally wired for complex problems. It craves a real puzzle to chew on. Without that kind of mental heavy lifting, it doesn't just get bored, it can feel almost physically painful. All right, so we've talked about what's going on inside. Now let's shift gears and look at the outside world. How having a quick mind can sometimes lead to this big social disconnect. Picture this. You're at a party, you're hoping for a real, genuine conversation, but you just find yourself drowning in a sea of small talk about the weather and what people did last weekend. Does that hit home? Your brain is itching to talk about big ideas, philosophy, the why of everything. But most casual chats just aren't built for that. And the result? Man, you can be in a room full of people and feel totally, completely alone. This next one can also really create some distance. It's that natural urge to not just accept things because, well, that's just how it's done. You're wired to poke and prod and ask why. And you know what? That curiosity is the engine that drives all human progress. But on a personal level, it can be isolating. When you're the one who's always asking the tough questions, it can make you feel like an outsider in a world that often just prefers simple, comfortable answers. And that brings us to what might be the heaviest burden of all, the emotional side of things. The weight of seeing and feeling the world so intensely. Just listen to these 5 words. They can land like a punch to the gut. This simple phrase captures that huge external pressure. It implies that for a smart person, making a normal human mistake isn't just a mistake, it's a deep character flaw. And that kind of pressure, it's a breeding ground for what we call imposter syndrome. It's that nagging feeling that you're a fraud. And any minute now, everyone's going to find out. You literally can't accept your own wins because you're so worried about not meeting that impossible standard. Then you've got this other thing, hyper-awareness. You pick up on the tiny shift in someone's voice, the little hesitation before they answer, the hidden meaning behind their words. It's like having a superpower for sure, but it's a superpower you can't ever switch off, and that is exhausting. And this awareness, it often comes with a huge dose of empathy. Do you ever feel like you're a sponge for other people's emotions? Like you absorb their sadness or their stress, and suddenly it's yours to carry? Well, there's a name for that too. It's called emotional contagion. Think of it like catching an emotional cold. You just subconsciously pick up on what others are feeling and start carrying that weight around, even when it was never yours to begin with. Okay, so we've walked through all these struggles. It sounds pretty tough, right? So what do we do with all this? Well, it's time to reframe these things, to stop seeing them as burdens and start seeing them as part of a really powerful gift. If you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. If you've ever felt like you're too much, too intense, too sensitive, too analytical, please remember this. Your depth is not a flaw. Your intensity isn't a bug. It's a feature. It's just how you're built. So look, the goal here isn't to become less of who you are. It's about learning how to manage it, how to build healthy boundaries, find people who get you, and give your amazing mind the challenges it's hungry for. So the real question isn't, how do I fix myself? The question is, how will you honor this incredible gift?